All right. I'm excited about this turnout. Hi, everybody. So if you are not familiar with who I am, my name is Kendall. I am the admissions counselor here at the Indiana Academy. So you will most likely have a lot of communication with me throughout the process. So I set up this application workshop so you can kind of get some tips and tricks. If you haven't started yet, you can see exactly what it will look like as you go through. I also personally have some things that I want to let you know about the application. I have two ambassadors with me today, Owen and Riley. Owen is a junior and Riley is a senior. So you'll probably have two different perspectives when it comes to doing the application because Owen just went through that process this past year. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Application 101. I have a few golden reminders for a fairly smooth application process. Make sure you answer each question thoroughly. So we have a few short answer response questions, and those are going to be a 250 minimum word requirement. So that is just to make sure that you are getting your point across within, a good amount of space, like 250 words. I promise it is not as much as you think it is. So you just want to make sure that you are really answering the question thoroughly, making sure you're hitting all of the points. My next point is to ask questions. That is what Dr. Joe Tuitt and I are here for. Dr. Tuitt is our head of admissions. So that is what we're here for. If you ever have a question, Dr. Tuitt, if you want to drop my email in the chat, that would be amazing. If you have any questions at any point, you are welcome to send me an email or the admissions email. And if it's sent to my email, I get back pretty quickly. And then if it's sent to the admissions email, I get it as soon as I see it. So within 24 hours. My next point is to pay attention to directions. So especially when you do your short answer questions, there are specific directions on how to complete those. Make sure you're paying attention to those so we don't have to ask you to redo it. It's rare that we would ask that anyway, but just specifically the rank and response, you use one number, just one number each time. So it's numbers 1 through 12. You use all numbers once. That's like my biggest tip for you, is just to make sure you read all the answer or all the questions carefully. Don't overthink things. I see this a lot in my ambassadors as they are gifted students, wanting to make sure everything is on point, everything is correct, everything looks good. I promise, don't overthink it. If you're a little uneasy about your responses, we're not going to judge you. We just want to see kind of what's in your mind, what you're thinking. And we really like to read about you and how you feel about yourself. So speaking of that, be honest. A lot of these are tailored to the written responses. Be honest. So if you feel like, my best example is if you feel like there is a quality that, let's say you're doing the rank of response that you feel you're not perfect with, that's okay. This is kind of your opportunity to sell yourself to us and maybe say why you think that. Something that in my professional development classes in college that they always said to us was, this is the time to sell yourself. So you want to let us know what you're good at, not what you're bad at per se. That's kind of what's in my head is, let us know what you're good at. If you're not super confident in something, it's totally okay. So I have a few tips from ambassadors. Number one is research. So going through our website, talking to Dr. Tuitt and I, coming to Discovery Days and other programs, finding out what we offer as a school and making sure it offers what you need, and that we are going to fit your desired education. Number two, brainstorm. So with those, again, short answer written response questions, break your thoughts down, write them on maybe a separate sheet of paper, and then you can go back and write everything down. You do not have to do your entire application in one sitting. You can go back to it. So that will hopefully relieve some stress. Next one is be yourself. So let what you write be a true reflection of who you are. Again, we really like to read about how you view yourself. And we want you, again, to be honest. So you don't have to make yourself look like this perfect student, perfect individual. We want to know who you are, what you value, what you are interested in, stuff like that. And attend an admissions program. I really like this one because I coordinate those. So attending a Discovery Day has helped lots of my ambassadors make that final decision. We also have personalized visit days where you can come take classes with our ambassadors. So these programs are for you to learn more about the academy, as well as to see if this is a good fit for you. So these next several slides are going to be me going through exactly what you are going to see during your application. I did not put any information in here of my own that you would not be able to, that you couldn't find directly on our website. So if you have already gone through most parts of the application, this might be a little repetitive, but I hope it helps. So if you're a first-time user, you'll just create your account. So you'll register using your email, first and last name, and your birthday. Pretty standard. This right here on the left is the email you will get when you sign up. So you'll activate that account and you will request a password. So you'll set your password. You click on activate account, you set your password, then you log in. When you log in, you use that temporary PIN. And that is how you will officially get into your student portal. And then you'll verify like your birthday and your email. So pretty simple, start your application. And this is where it can sometimes get confusing. So after you click start new application, it'll bring a drop-down menu, active application cycle, and Indiana Academy application. So that is what it will look like. And then you will just click create application. You want to make sure it's Indiana Academy application because Ball State Admissions is reviewing everything else and you want to make sure it's getting to the right place. And this is what that email looks like once you start your application. So once you click start application, you will get an email, and this is telling you everything that you need. So your school official form, 2 other recommendations. These can be personal or professional, preferably academic, and then a parent letter / recommendation. So that's 4 total recommendations that we need from you. We also request your high school transcripts or progress reports. If you are a high school junior, we would need your transcript from your freshman Okay, sorry. If you are a current sophomore applying for junior year, we would need your transcript from your freshman year. And let's say you do it right now, we would want just a screenshot of your current grades from the most recent grading period. And then we'll request the final transcript at the end of the semester. So as it said there, current school year transcript or progress report. So first things first, your personal details. It's pretty simple: phone, email, address, how you identify, citizenship. There is a separate application for international students, so sometimes that will pop up. I actually had this happen to me twice with both my work address and my home address. So this is the address to the Academy House, and it would not validate. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with that. If this happens to pop up, just skip the validation. We can fix it, and it'll still let you complete your application. So if need be, we can always fix that. And then more application information. So what year are you intending to graduate? What application term you're applying for? So I just clicked fall 2024. That is pretty standard. What program are you applying for? I put 2 different screenshots because depending on your graduation year is dependent on which what your screen will look like. So for this one, I have that my intended high school graduation year is 2027, which means I would be a current freshman. And if you can see here, it says, for what program are you applying? Non-residential. So that would mean I am a current freshman applying for sophomore year. And sophomore students do not live on campus. They are non-residential. So on the right, I put 2026. So that would mean I am a current sophomore applying for junior year. And I am applying for either residential or non-residential. So just know if it doesn't pop up, check what your intended high school graduation year is. And if there is still an issue with that, just contact either me or Dr. Tuitt and we can figure out what's going on. In a related program. And then parent or guardian information. So parents, guardians will need your information, your email address, all just going into the application. And we only need 1 parent or guardian. I'll wait a second because that one was really quick. So now for the references. No, not references. I'm still on parent information. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So we ask if any siblings or parents attended the academy. Then you will list your current high school. So wherever you are attending at this moment is what you will list. So I put Seymour High School in Seymour, Indiana, which, fun fact, I grew up in Seymour, Tennessee, and went to Seymour High School in Tennessee. So I have no actual connection to Seymour High School in Indiana. And these are the dates I am attending. So you will put your current year, not current year, what year you started, and then you will put what year you will intend to graduate from that school. So, so I'm just saying that I am a current sophomore applying for junior year, intending to graduate in 2026. So that is what you will put in the application. And then you just click save. Now for the short answer. So this is just kind of to show you what this looks like. I did not type up a whole paragraph for you to see. I didn't think anyone would really like to read my writing. And I made a mistake. It's a 200-word minimum, not a 250-word minimum. So why is the Indiana Academy the right educational fit for you? And then a personal statement. So this is really the part where you get to tell us all about you, how you like to interact, what your skills are, what motivates you, what you enjoy, academic interests, all that fun stuff. For the rank and response, we have 12 different characteristics. And as I said previously, you use one number each. So I just, for example, ranked 1 through 12, 12 being the lowest, or not lowest, but least developed, and 1 being the highest developed. So just as an example, I put that my highest is a desire to learn, and that my least developed is willingness to follow school rules. And then you will just kind of explain what your thought process was. There is not a 200-word minimum for this section, but you can, if you feel like you put willingness to follow school rules as your lowest developed, but you feel like that doesn't truly reflect you, you can kind of just type it out in that box of why you put willingness to follow school rules as the last one. Again, this is just an example. You do not have to number them like this. This was solely just for educational purposes. So this is what the short answers and rank and response looks like. So after you do those, then we get into references. So this specific one is important to me because if you choose the wrong recommendation and send it to the wrong recommender, it won't, trying to think of the best way to explain that, it won't solidify in the application itself. So if you send the school administrator form to your parent, it won't register as a parent guardian form. It'll register as a school administrator form. So then if we don't have that school administrator form, we won't be able to review the application until we receive that. So you just click add recommender, and again, read through these carefully. Oh, I took more screenshots and I can tell I forgot to put them in here. The only difference between the app, or not the only difference, but what it will look like when you open up the add recommender, it will have something to click on at the top, and it'll say parent guardian letter, school administrator form, academic or personal. So let's say you are sending this to your guidance counselor. You want to click on school administrator form and then fill out that information for your guidance counselor. If for any reason you are having trouble getting your references, regardless of which reference it might be, reach out to me or Dr. Tuitt, preferably Dr. Tuitt. She's usually the one that could help more in that aspect. But we can always, see what we can do to help you out if you're having a hard time getting any references. So that was a lot. My goal of that was to just walk you through so you could see exactly what the application will look like. And just a reminder, we cannot review your application until all of those materials are in. So my last slide is, what questions do you have? So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.